to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good bad guys of wrestling podcasts are back talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. I'm your host, Brian. We got the double J's, Jason and Joe. They are here. Kevin is, I don't know where.
He's camping.
Camping. Okay.
He's camping.
Camping, air quotes. Camping.
No, you know, it's funny. I think he actually is like tent, sleeping bag, dirt. I think that's really how they do it. Seriously. I don't think they're cabins and, real mattresses and stuff like I do. So
not a glamping family, the Cox family.
No, I don't think
or
so.
like me, which is a hotel city nowhere near the woods.
Well, I don't like the woods either anymore. I've done that once.
I've never camped.
Done.
Yeah.
I did it once, never again.
Exactly.
I don't want to pay to pretend that I'm homeless. I don't want to do that. I want to be pampered on my vacation.
Yeah.
It's a good way to put it. I hadn't thought of it quite like that. Pay to be homeless.
It's like I don't want my highlight of my vacation to be going home to take a shower.
These are all great points. I'll have to get Kevin's feedback.
I'm soft when it comes to that.
His family may have like an RV, so maybe it's not quite the.
No, I think
sleeping on the ground.
I think he's dirt in the ground.
Is he really?
I think so.
I thought Laura's family had like a
fancy
camper.
I think he's got a good tent.
Okay.
But at a campsite, community, I see him doing that. I don't see him just going into the woods and just doing like, okay, this is where we camp.
Who's got a leaf? I got to take a dump.
Leave the three.
I was going to say killing his own food, but whatever, Brian. Whatever.
He definitely would be doing that.
All right.
Kevin's a big softie. Jason, your birthday was like a day or so after we recorded last weekend. If you remember
Friday. Saturday.
Yes.
Saturday.
I presented to the boys my gifts for my birthday that were wrestling themed.
Oh.
Did you get anything wrestling themed for your birthday?
I didn't get anything for my birthday.
No. No.
Doc paid for my wings at lunch on my birthday for the second year in a row. So that's
nice. It. Okay. That was it.
Yeah.
Why doesn't your family like you?
Exactly. I ask that all the time. You know what it is? We got a dog. They like the dog better than they do me.
That does happen.
Yep. So let's just move on. I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's talk.
But no, Joe. No, Joe. No.
I gave you the gift of agreeing with you all day, and you didn't take advantage.
No, I don't care about that.
Well, at least you offered.
Let's just go on.
It's not paying for wings, but
no, it's not.
Counts for something. By the way, are either of you guys having any technical difficulty? Like,
Joe got a little glitchy there for a second.
I had that too. Okay, just making sure it's not just me on my end. So we'll monitor that. All right.
Yeah.
Joe also acknowledges that. Okay, no worries. Well, while we didn't talk AEW last week because we recorded a little bit earlier, I thought it'd be a good time to start the show with them. These next couple of weeks are going to be very SummerSlam focused. We're going to be pretty heavy as we get really close to all four of us being in Cleveland. So let's talk the state of AEW, and we got to go back to not this past week's Dynamite, but last week with Mariah May winning the Owen Hart Cup and her brutal turn on Toni Storm. I thought this was the best thing I've seen in AEW all year. I mean, their relationship has been a thing for months and months. And I thought it would have gone the other way, where Toni would have turned on Mariah. They're going to be wrestling it all in at Wembley. Mariah is a British woman, so it's a hometown pop and everything. They went the other way, and my God, she murdered her. What did you guys think when you saw this? Because I loved it.
It was perfect. That's it.
I'm glad they did it, and I'm glad they didn't do the predictable thing of Toni turning on her. The student turned down the teacher, which is way more interesting.
And hopefully not
Now-
a reflection on your real life, Joe.
Oh, I hope so.
What are you talking about?
One
They
can
turn
only
on me.
hope. One can
In
only
your
hope.
They
life.
turn on me before January, so I'm used to it. But that's the way it's
Okay,
supposed to
okay.
be,
Yeah.
because that builds community where the students. Am I glitching?
Yeah, community hatred. We're starting to get that way because of your internet, Joe. Community hatred.
Yes, I just realized. I just realized that right now. So all right, it builds community when they all have a goal, and that is
Yeah.
to prove me wrong.
Mm. A life. What a life. Yeah. I loved it. Yeah, like I said, because I didn't do the predictable thing of like where my mind was going. It was like, yeah, that makes sense. And they went the other way. And so then you take that and they pull the Mariah in cosplay Tony Storm on Dynamite on Wednesday, which again, I thought really well done. If I didn't presume it was going to be Tony and I looked at her and was like just not kind of really paying attention, I would have gone, well, that's Tony Storm. Not bad, right?
Speak, bitch. Come on now. Holy cow. That came literally out of
Tony.
nowhere. Literally out of nowhere. I could not believe that happened. And I couldn't stop laughing. And I had to rewind it to make sure I actually heard about it. It's crazy.
Yeah. It seemed like I mean, you don't know are you working or shooting, brother? But it seemed like Excalibur and Taz had the same reaction we had at home of just like, whoa.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. I thought that the segment that she did was perfection again. And Shivani just, oh my God, I just laughed uncontrollably because I don't think Taz and Excalibur saw it coming.
Right.
Either, but it was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe, what'd you think of that?
I thought it was funny. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Mariah was. I thought the segment was okay with her. It's hard to say perfect because it's still
was perfect, Joe.
it's week 2.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm a wait and see, but like we have other issues with that one. But Tony was amazing with that line. I'm like, whoa, did he just say that out loud?
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that part, but I felt like I felt like she dragged it a little long. A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little long. Yeah.
Is this somebody nitpicking? Is that what you're getting at here?
No, just a little, like a tad, just a little long. Like Tony said what was on my mind, and that got me back into it. I'm like, when is this gonna start? I'm like, we just watched an hour-long match, and now we have to like stall even more.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Jay, can I start a formal petition to add "Speak, bitch, get on with it" to the?
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Okay.
Yes. If you can find it, send it to me in MP3. But it's on my list. So
consider it done.
You will get it by the end of this episode.
Yeah.
You'll get it tonight. I'll make it for you. No big deal.
Thanks.
And I feel like it just what made that line so good too was it was like the crowd had quieted down just enough that it was like he was the only person talking of anything happening.
And make sure to
like,
include Excalibur and Taz after, and then I can cut and edit and stuff like that.
Okay, no worries.
I think that's worthy. Tony Schiavone still dishing out the hits 35 years into a broadcast career or whatever it's been. So what did you think then about so it's not
Hulk Hogan, you can go to hell.
Yes, that's right up there. Hulk Hogan, you can go to hell.
Straight to hell.
A Dynamite 250 starts with what ends up being a just shy of 1 hour match for what's that international championship? Sure. Doesn't matter. Okay. Whatever. Yeah. It's a championship of Will Ospreay defending against MJF. This I mean, I think you could argue it might be the biggest match AEW could put on. What did you think of everything? First off, just that they even did this match on Dynamite and how the match played out, where it was nearly an hour. MJF wins. Any and all in between, man. This was a big deal for them.
All right, I'll go since I think Joe's frozen. Here's my
No,
reaction.
I'm not frozen. It's not
Oh.
frozen. Speak, Rich.
What? I caught wind that they were going to go an hour. I don't have time to watch an hour TV match. So therefore, from 8 until 9, I watched NWA Power on the CW app. When 9 o'clock hit, I turned on AEW. I fast forwarded an hour and started it the second hour.
Wow.
I don't have
So
time for an hour match. I
You haven't
don't.
gone back and watched it all?
No.
Wow. Okay.
I saw the end.
Mhm.
That's all that matters. I don't have time for an hour match on TV, let alone an hour match on pay-per-view, which I believe is what I said when MJF had that Iron Man match on pay-per-view, whenever the hell that was.
Him and
So-
Bryan Danielson. I think,
Yeah, no thanks.
And I think that's fair, man. I think there's a lot of people who feel that way and a lot of people who feel the opposite. So it's cool to hear what corner of the fence that you sit on. Joe, what your thoughts on the hour concept, the match itself, any of it, man?
Okay, when they started and they said 60-minute time limit, my wife was like, "Are they going an hour?" And I'm like, "No, they're not going to do that." And then when they kept announcing the time, I'm like, "Crap, they're going to go an hour draw." I liked that they didn't do that final 2 seconds.
Yeah.
However, there's a difference between having an hour-long match, which is a wrestling psychology match, and there's a difference between having an hour-long match, which is just a spot fest where you're not selling anything. That's what they had.
Yeah, it didn't have me.
That I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it, but it reminded me, and like not to like date myself or nerd myself out, but it reminded me of Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. How many endings did they have to have? That thing could have been 30 minutes shorter, maybe 40 minutes shorter, and still had the same match because they were repeating moves like you were playing a game on the PS5 and you only know how to do a couple cool, sweet finishers, and you're doing them over and over again online. That's what it
Speaking of the
reminded me of.
PS5, did you get the new college football game?
Not yet.
So there's this thing going on with the game. It's a honorary delay of game penalty on the first play that you have because the game's been 10 years in the making.
Nice.
I got it. I haven't
That's awesome.
done anything with it, but I got it. And maybe, I'll get to it eventually. But yeah, honorary delay game due to the 10-year delay. Pretty awesome.
Can you bring it with you to Cleveland for SummerSlam?
I did pick up a travel backpack for my Xbox. But you're not a gamer, so no, Brian.
I won't lie to you guys.
You're going to
This
buy an
past-
Xbox, aren't you?
This past week, seeing all the clips and all the stuff, I Googled like what consoles is college football on. They're like it's PS5 and
Xbox
It's not on
Xbox,
the Wii.
whatever.
Sorry,
it's not on-
Brian. It's not on the Wii.
It is not on Xbox.
Not on the Wii.
One.
It's not on the Wii.
It's not on Xbox One. It's on One Series X. Or as my boss got the early download code on Tuesday, he has an Xbox One, not a One X or S. So it's not compatible.
Right.
So Series X, Series S. I'm kicking myself because a year ago I sold my PS5, but I'm really thinking about buying another one. So Brian, if you buy a PS5, all 4 of us will have one because I'm going to probably buy one too.
And I one thing that I read was that whatever you get, it should be compatible to play against. You have Xbox, I have PS5. We can still play.
Cross-platform, yes. They have but I have Xbox.
Okay.
Kev has Xbox. Joe has PS5.
Okay.
Kev has PS5. And I'm probably going to get a PS5, for my
Yeah.
birthday that nobody else cared about. So
This Yeah, I'm
You need to do it.
I'm dipping my toe, brother. I'm dipping my
But
toe in that water.
Brian,
like,
it will not work for your GameCube. Sorry, it's not going to work for that.
I know. That
Yeah,
retro
so-
Nintendo is not going to.
Wow, we went off track on this
If
one.
you're
All I
doing-
said was it
but
was
it's
a video
amazing.
game match.
Series S,
They're
I believe, is just download only.
Yeah,
I have to have the physical, so that's the Series
Me too.
X for Xbox.
yeah.
PS5 also offers a download only or a disc drive. PS5 Slim is where I'm leaning because that has the hard drive or the disk drive with the terabyte of storage, and I'm going to buy some extra storage as well. So
Mhm.
yes, do it. Yes,
I'm thinking.
this is great. This is great news. I don't even
I'm-
care about wrestling anymore. Let's talk about video games. What's
I
your
saw-
3 favorite video games of all time? This is a real
the
question.
week that Kevin's not here, we're
I
talking
know.
video games.
Three
You're
favorite
missing
video.
out, camp boy.
3 favorite video games of all time, not just wrestling, just in general, Brian.
I would say Mike Tyson's Punch Out #1.
Okay.
Metroid was up there
Wow.
for me. Loved Metroid. And oh my god, for third, how about NBA Jam?
Okay. Joe?
NBA Jam is on mine. Other one would be from SNK Baseball Stars, which was on
I know what that
Okay.
is. I do
Nintendo.
know, yep.
Love that
Yep.
game. You can never be the All Americans because it was unfair. And then I got to go with SSX Tricky for the
What's
PlayStation
that?
2.
Which is funny.
It was a snowboarding game. Snowboarding game.
Wow.
Which is funny because you couldn't be the Americans, and now the Americans aren't the best players in the world. For
Right,
baseball.
but like
It's
that
crazy.
game was like, the
Yeah.
lineup was Willie and Babe and
Yeah,
the pitcher was Cy, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
Cy.
like,
Yeah.
those are definitely my 3 favorite games. What about you, Jason?
what's yours, Jay? Yeah.
No. Pitfall for Atari.
Oh, Pitfall was good. Yep.
and
classic.
RC Pro Am for
RC Pro-Am.
Nintendo. And then on my modded NES, there's an RC Pro Am 2, which is not as good as the first one. But yeah, so
Mhm.
yeah, goddamn,
Yeah.
Brian, I am so excited that you're getting back here, getting into gaming. I love it.
Kevin, what's your top 3?
Oh wait,
Here.
sorry, Kevin. I don't want. Let's talk more video games.
Oh,
And
no.
we are never revisiting this topic again.
No.
Brian, do
No,
you want to
no,
talk about
no.
that time Najee Davenport had 2 kickoff returns
You
in
just-
Madden
You just said it,
against
brother.
me? Yeah.
You just said it. Yep. The greatest Steelers kickoff returner in all time, or wherever
Twice.
he was.
Twice,
Amazing. One time in Madden.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
Where were we?
we're on a 1 hour match. We almost did an hour on video games, which is fun. The 1 hour MJF Ospreay. The only thing I'll say, I mean, amazing performers, both of them. I don't know. The one thing I was thinking of as it was going on and just continued to keep going was because they seemed like they were making a big deal of it being 250, right? And as it's going on, I'm like, they're going to spend half of their big 250th episode with 2 guys. It seemed like if that's like a milestone show, that's a show where you try to get so many people on the show to like, like the Raw Triple X show. They have like all these little backstage skits with people and the legends come back and stuff. It's a little different for AEW. They don't have legends per se, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, God, they're taking an hour. And while it was a great performed match, that was in the back of my head of like, if this was a regular episode, fine. But because it was this special pumped up episode, it seemed a little out of place for me because of what I was thinking of. Like they're going to pull out every wrestler on the card to be on this, but it wasn't that way.
Okay, I got a question here. Who's sick of the overrun?
I'm sick of them making a big deal about it.
Well,
I-
we
'cause
know
it's-
you
'cause
get it
it's-
every week.
it's most
You know.
weeks.
I know
Yeah.
it's
Who cares? That's fine.
get your stuff together and have a show that's a tight 2 hours. Don't rely on the overrun. Don't do that.
Mhm.
There's like when they announced it's like, oh, we already talked at the network and we're going to have an overrun. I actually turned it off. I didn't watch the last match. I'm like, I want this to be done.
Yeah.
I got 2 hours to spend on here. There's way too much wrestling on. There's not too much wrestling. There's a lot of wrestling on TV right now. And this is the only one that goes over. Stop. You're going over on your pay-per-views. You're going over on Dynamite. You're showing me that you don't have your stuff together. Have a tight format. That's my soapbox.
Okay.
Cool.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't mind the overrun because I expect it, but the fact that they'll pump it up, it's like
Just
It's not
let you know,
1999
Tony
anymore.
Khan has just told us we can,
Right.
if this match does not end, we are going over. We're not going anywhere,
Stop.
and you will miss the beginning of the Meg.
It is
Sorry,
not
Jason
1999
Statham.
anymore. We do not
Yeah.
need to see a already joined in progress of La Femme Nikita. It's
Right.
over. We have so many other things that we can be focused on. When you go over, I'm done.
The other
You
You have me
said.
till 10. When you're over, I'm done. Yes,
When
thank
you
you.
go over, I'm done.
Shit, that's true.
Let's
All
talk
right,
more video games.
No.
The AEW Fight Forever video game sucks. Lots of
end.
bugs, lots of glitches like Joe's internet. And I just saw it for $18.99 new.
That's probably still too much. Is
Did not
what
buy
I'm
it.
hearing.
So don't buy that when you buy your PS5.
The other thing for AEW, quickly touch on, Bryan Danielson won the men's Owen Hart. He's challenging Swerve at All In. We know this is his kind of last full-time year. At least that's what he said. The other finalist was Hangman Page. And we know about the Hangman Swerve history. Where do you guys fall on how this came out as far as Danielson being the winner and if you think that's the right call?
It doesn't matter to me, really. As long as he does not win.
Okay.
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
I think this is more along the lines of one more match to get Swerve even more over, because ever since he won, he's kind of been there, mid. Everyone else has a better storyline than he does. This is another way to get him over more, because he was hotter when he was chasing.
Yeah, you're not the only one who said like his position once he's been champion hasn't been, championship worthy, I guess you could say. That's a word to put it. So yeah, I think that's fair. It's interesting, and listen, they have a little time because I think All In is August 25th, so you've got 5 weeks to go. What happened on last night's Dynamite between Danielson and Swerve, guys? Let's recap it.
I don't know. Nothing?
Joe,
Something?
what happened? Anything?
Nothing.
Nothing happened.
I turned it off when I heard it was an overrun.
Danielson wasn't on the show, and
So
Swerve
the
fought
fact
Okada. So again, they have time; they can build it. But you take your winner of the Owen Hart Cup, and let's follow it up the next week with, and the guy was on the show, and there was nothing that happened. So I don't know. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but it seems like a wasted opportunity for their 250th episode to me.
Okay.
Jay, you sent a great tweet that
Was it about Skip Bayless becoming a voice on WWE?
That wasn't the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
That was good.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It was this tweet from Elite Rockers with a Z.
Z.
At the end. And he puts, before arriving in WWE, Jacob Fatu was wrestling on the Indies, and Triple H turned him into a legit superstar in just 3 weeks. Meanwhile, Okada was a megastar in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and all Tony Khan did was present him as a foreign, in quotes, comedy heel and turn him into, quote, just another guy. Did you guys think when you saw that you're like,
Yep.
that dude's right, or other way? Okay, Jay. You're
I mean, look, man, this is what happens. This is Keith Lee. This is Miro. This is Andrade.
Yeah.
This is Brian Cage. This is fill in the blank.
Kyle O'Reilly.
AEW. That's all I got. What Jacob Fatu has done in 3 weeks is insane. You know, it's funny when a couple weeks back on SmackDown when he beat up or that was last week on SmackDown. He beat up DIY and he beat up this one and that one. And WWE sent out a tweet and it says, "What is Jacob Fatu doing?" And I wrote, "Anything he wants."
Yeah.
Whether this turns into him being the tribal chief, him being a spy for Roman, him just being a fucking badass. And if you're ever bored, go Google Fatu versus Fan and enjoy the laughter that comes from that as well.
That is a TWP approved video clip.
Yes.
Joe, where do you fall on this tweet? You see where this guy was going with this, or any?
He's right.
Yeah,
he's right. You mentioned it a few minutes ago with it was a 250 show, and we only had 3 matches. I know they went longer than Raw, but Raw progressed storylines and characters. AEW did not. There's your difference. It's supposed to be entertainment too. And that's the thing that sometimes AEW is lacking. They focus on the wrestling, but they're taking away from what makes a compelling television show, which makes you want to tune in the next week. I don't know.
There is that.
Look at all the guys that they've signed. Like, go back to March when they were talking about the free agent signings and how Tony Khan won.
Jay White.
He's regulated to Rampage and Collision, and he's part of a trios team, which has 4 members, which is what Bullet.
It's the Guns
IPA
and the
Gold. Is that what you call it, Jason?
Bullet Club IPA. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've taken all these great talents who were stars elsewhere, and you turn them into mid-carders or below. Congratulations.
Oh, I got one.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Who else thinks it's funny that their new online game is called AEW Fig Fight?
Oh no!
Yeah, I saw that too.
I was oh man!
And it's wrestling figures fighting.
Yes.
So, we've talked enough AEW. Is there anything else?
Like, it's so real life. I need this. Oh my god, that's terrible.
Is there anything else? Can we just go on? I mean, AEW is AEW.
We can go on.
Yeah, let's go on.
Yeah, we can go on. And Jay, you said it. From this past SmackDown about just it stood out to me the destruction that Jacob Fatu left. He takes out Ciampa and Gargano after they defend the tag titles against A-Town Down Under. Takes out Randy Orton. Cody gets in the ropes. Bloodline runs wild, but he's clearly the focus of like the destruction. And I said it to you guys. I'm like, well, I think TWP Breakout Star of the year for the Twippy Awards. It may have been locked up.
He might be MVP if he keeps this pace up.
It's we got 5 months left. It's not over, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I am so impressed, and I know Jay, you've been touting this guy from his indie time, man. But this is better than I think anybody could have expected.
Any of you could have expected. I knew. I'm not frozen.
No, neither am I. He's what Haku should have been the entire career.
Haku? You're going back to Haku.
Yeah, he's what Haku should have been his entire career.
I don't see Haku doing a badass. I don't see Haku doing like top rope springboard somersault shit though.
It's a different time, Brian.
Different time. It's a different time.
Fair.
It's like basically now that we're all like, going into spots and what goes viral.
Yeah.
He's that.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm so impressed.
Yep.
I told you. I think this guy, has a main event run written all over him. I want to see him do some more promo work. That's not his thing right now because that's solo and everything. But He's as far as in ring and just his presence and everything with that, so damn good. Let's go on to Monday Night Raw. Let's first talk about the face-off between Gunther and Damian Priest. You guys know, from my amazing prediction from Money in the Bank that I was more on the way of Seth Rollins versus Gunther at SummerSlam. Didn't really feel like Gunther and Damian Priest was a SummerSlam worthy match. Like both guys, didn't think it was the right way to go when it came to Seth Rollins being involved. But they had this face-off. Gunther essentially calling Priest like street trash and going in on that and his past and his history. And I gotta admit, it put my eyebrows up. I said, now we're cooking. We got something here. This is good. Did it do the same for you guys? Did you get more excited about the SummerSlam match? Because it did for me.
I mean, it's going to be cool, but it didn't. It is what it is.
What do you mean?
It got me as excited as Triple H and Booker T's feud at WrestleMania 19. It didn't do anything. It actually took away from it.
Whoa!
I like what Priest is doing. I really do. I think it's cool. I'm not excited, but I'm not excited for this match either.
Okay.
So
okay.
They turned Priest's face.
They did.
I mean, he's the ultimate cock blocker.
Yeah, he's a face and Rhea's a face, but the rest of Judgment Day are heels.
Correct.
Yep,
that's the case, and that was my only fault with that segment was that promo happens, and it's clear they're positioning Damian Priest as the face versus Gunther. Gunther, ripping on Damian Priest's family, like your parents didn't care about you, obviously, like some heavy shit. But then what happened right after?
I don't know.
Priest fought Braun Strowman, who's a face. And I was like, oh, so now the fans are getting behind Braun Strowman to beat Damian Priest. So it seemed like they were headed one way, but then they threw that match in there that I was like, oh, that's not going to continue to build that to me. See what I'm saying?
Sure.
Joe?
Is Strowman a face, or is Strowman a face, or is he just there?
He's a face because he's been feuding with Judgment Day.
Right, but he's been feuding with the heel portion of Judgment Day.
Right.
Damian Priest was just taking care, being the leader that he's supposed to be of that group. So he was taking care of little brother picking a fight with the big bully. Which is a face move. But
that's not...
It doesn't mean that Strowman is the heel of that match. It was just
he wasn't.
Someone who's taking care of their family, which makes Priest a face. While his younger siblings are heels.
Taking care of family that are heels. So you're kind of by default a heel. Because you're defending the heels. You can't be a face and defend the heels, right?
Making my head hurt.
I know we're twisting around a little, but I don't know. I guess I would have, there had to have been some other opponent, I feel like, that could make it a little more effective for me. That was it. It was fine. And Priest picks up a big win against Braun Strowman. We're all good. But yeah, I was like, we're headed this way, and it seemed like a touch of a detour. In other news on Raw, Master Gable, he cracked the case. We know now. Bo Dallas is Uncle Howdy. Leave it to Master Gable to figure it out. Thoughts? So we had, was maybe leading right into it, the Rowan promo, the VHS, which I think it at least was on the McAfee show. It wasn't the Smokey in the ring and Nikki Cross handing off the tape. But we also had the Roman promo. We had the Creeds joining Chad Gable. That's been kind of teased for a little bit now, so that finally happened. And then the Wyatt Six come down and in theory makes the save as they were doing the beatdown on Bo Dallas. Jay, I know you've been a thumbs down guy on this, especially last week. What are your thoughts on what happened here?
So, if this was just a Rowan return promo, perfect. This Wyatt sucks nonsense has seriously made me question if I ever want to watch wrestling again.
Wow.
It doesn't work for me, brother. It doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't. This is Teen Wolf 2. This is Teen Wolf 2. And regardless of all of the things that Bo did in the ring, yeah, that's a Brody Lee thing. The constant laughter, that's a Bray thing.
Just doesn't hit with you.
No.
I hear you.
Why?
Any thoughts on the Gable and the Creeds, though?
Nah, it was predictable, but I'm glad it's happening.
Pretty good.
I don't like them in suits with no socks. I think that's a weird look. Never been a fan of that. Definitely not a fan of suits and sneakers at all. Don't do that either. It was cool. I like it.
Yeah, that one makes a lot of sense.
It's about time. It's about time they got Gable with the Creeds. That should have happened a while ago. So I'm kind of glad that he's away from Otis and Tozawa, and now he's with the Creed brothers.
Yeah, that's going to build it up, I think, for those guys. A lot of praise for the Rowan interview. You know,
I love the video.
Mhm.
I didn't like the live part of it. It was like one of those things. It's like, it's not Teen Wolf 2. Teen Wolf 2 was garbage from beginning to end. This is still like a work in progress where now that I'm looking.
It's been 4 months.
So it's gone on a little bit long, like a AEW match. But the point is, now it seems like there's a direction to this. Rowan.
Oh, your camera froze, Joe.
we have been having some unusual technical.
Maybe it's the
difficulties.
Wyatt
Joe, you there?
sucks. Maybe it's the Wyatt sucks.
Am I here?
Interfering with our broadcast because I'm saying bad things.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Where were you, Joe?
Okay.
The end.
Give everybody their own backstory on why they joined, and that's it.
And then move forward. Okay.
And then let them be who they are.
Yeah. No, I thought this was.
Ruins. I'm looking forward to Dexter Loomis's video.
Will he talk?
Yes.
That might be the biggest thing that come out of that.
He should do the NXS video with the cue cards.
With the signs, like
the
Sammy
cue cards
Guevara
or the Love
done?
Actually video too. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, it's been a slow burn, but I thought this was like a good step in progress. And listeners, viewers, I apologize if you're seeing these technical difficulties. Yeah, this isn't some sort of Wyatt Six bullshit here, but I mean, it is. What the? Hashtag let it play out.
You know what I want to talk about? Joe Holy Moly. I know him. Joe is a funny and he knows his stuff. Holy moly. Wow. He is a wrestling fan.
He's hilarious.
Worst edit ever.
He's quick-witted.
Holy moly. This is the guy. This is a great hire. And I'm so excited he's going to be joining the team on.
Wow. These technical difficulties have gone off the rails. Unbelievable.
I would never say those things about Joe.
I feel so violated.
That was the
right
proof.
now. Why did somebody go after us? Man, Jason, I'm sorry that got played out, but it had nothing to do with me, I swear.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely bizarre.
Can we talk about NWA Power or women of wrestling.
Give us one takeaway from NWA Power. I'm
Holy
cool with
moly! I want to hear what you got to say.
So it was the Crockett Cup Finals, and one of the teams was managed by Ricky Morton.
Nice.
In the Jim Cornette role with the Southern Six. Was pretty cool. EC3 defended the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship against Sam Adonis, who's Corey Graves' brother.
Wow, yeah, EC3 and Sam Adonis.
Sam Adonis is big in Mexico. It's just a fun throwback for me, because I watched the NWA before it went to WCW. Like, so for me, I enjoyed it. I never gave it a chance. Like, I watched the Billy Corgan reality show on the CW app, and it was fun. And this one night I watched, it was cool. And they did the Crockett Cup Finals, and Billy Corgan's on commentary, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
A little different. So yeah, I mean, none of you three will, because every time I say, hey, you should give this a try, none of you do it.
I'll get to that.
I was right about Walter and Dragunov.
Yeah.
I was right about Jacob Fatu. I was right about a lot of shit that you just don't care about.
I'll get to that Suge Knight podcast, I promise.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Speaking of something that we're going to do in Cleveland, friend of the show, International Heat, Simon, he did, you know what? I have to backtrack. Simon did send me a gift for my birthday. He sent me 2 packages of Tim Tams, which are Australian cookies. And what we're going to do in Cleveland is we're going to do a taste test on the vlog.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah. And Joe's going to hate it because Simon hates Joe. So, but they look really good. They're like a chocolate, like they look like, I don't know. I haven't opened them, but the package looks like a chocolate Fig Newton in that shape.
Yeah.
So I got chocolate and double chocolate. So I'm excited. I haven't opened them. I'm gonna wait till Cleveland in 2 weeks. And thanks, Simon. Appreciate you you appreciate me for my birthday. So
that's amazing. And I hope I hope Simon didn't like poison Joe's cookie or something.
Well, you know what? The double chocolate had Joe's name on it. So I guess I'm not to eat the double chocolate, but Joe is.
All right. We'll find out what happens then. That's gonna be even more exciting.
I don't trust any of them.
Live on the vlog.
I've got Cleveland's poison control number on speed dial. Don't you worry. You'll be fine.
Why? How many times have you been to Cleveland?
That's a long story. I'll tell you about it later. All right. Speaking of Cleveland, I did want to take a look at the SummerSlam card and see what we want added to the show. So, guys, there's 5 matches confirmed. Cody and Solo, Priest and Gunther, Bayley and Nia, Liv and Rhea, LA Knight and Logan Paul. And I'm going to put in the presume category, Punk and Drew. You know, they're suspended, they're not suspended, they're there. I think it'll happen. So that's 6. Last year, SummerSlam in Detroit had 8 matches. So if you want to add 2 matches, or just there's people that you want to see on the card in whatever sort of way that you have, that's fine too. But where do you see filling in those gaps of adding to the card?
Ron and Sammy. Another IC title match. I get that. I think that's going to happen.
That makes sense. Yep.
Braun, Sammy, and Dragunov triple threat.
Ooh, okay.
Could see that after Monday.
Because Dragunov got screwed up Monday. Mm-hmm. I'd also like to see Jey Uso versus Dominic.
Jey Uso and okay.
Just like Jey can't go from main eventing SummerSlam one year and not being on the card when you're called main event Jey Uso.
And there's some sort of Rhea tie-in there.
It doesn't have to be a long match, but it can just be on the card.
Yeah.
I think that's all it's needed. We don't need fucking 15 matches. 8 is fine.
8 is great. I had the Wide 6. Let's get their debut against Creed and Gable.
I have to piss
the
at
Creeds
that time.
and Gable. Yeah.
I don't want to see them have a match until Survivor Series.
I want to see it because that's where the Fiend debuted.
Maybe it should be Halloween Havoc.
His first match, or Bad Blood.
Where there'll be no blood.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see it. I don't know. You know, we're 2 weeks away, so it still could happen, but I get it. And then I'm kind of shoehorning it, but we've talked so much about Jacob Fatu. I want to see him. So give me him versus Randy Orton or something. Yeah, like that. That's a fun match. I want to see this guy in person for the first time. That's how much he's like captivated my interest. You guys are completely right about Sammy and Braun and probably Dragunov and anything else, but like I hope he has a role besides just like being down there with Solo for the Cody Rhodes match, because I'm all about it, man. All right, last thing. I don't know. Like, why do wrestlers respond to fans' tweets? I don't know. It's a whole thing. But Dustin Rhodes did that this week, and he was responding to a fan's tweet about his contract and what he's going to do, and he basically confirmed part of the tweet, which was that his contract with AEW is up in September. But he said he's not retiring. He still wants to, be involved in everything.
GCW, GM Cardona, make it happen.
NWA Power.
Dust. He can be Old Dust.
Old Dust. Oh my God, that's great.
Gray.
Do we think that it's a WWE return and getting involved with Cody?
I'm gonna say
not.
no.
Not what you want, but like, do you think that's what happens?
No, I don't think it happens.
I think it's a Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah.
And then he can go work the indies and make special appearances at like WrestleCon and stuff like that.
I once saw Goldust at a roller rink in Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The life of a wrestler, man. When was that?
Well, that was after his first big run when he was either let go or quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking roller rink in Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania.
Jesus.
Yeah. Sabu was on that card too, I think.
Hell yeah.
And he was pissed because the roller rink ceiling wasn't high. So
that takes away half his moves.
Yeah.
Could go up in the tiles. Yeah. I think he'll go to WWE. I think so. I think, from what I've read, he plays a role in like training the women of AEW. He does. It's more behind the scenes for him,
and he has his own academy, just like Cody does.
Yes, he does. Yes. So
Rhodes Wrestling is something RWA something.
Yeah.
So,
but I think getting him done with AEW and moving into the WWE world for maybe a little something on screen with Cody. I think that makes sense.
Is he Dustin or is he Goldust?
He's Goldust.
Whoa.
Bring it back. Yeah, I think so. I think maybe there's some backstage stuff with him without the paint because we don't get it. But yeah, in the ring, he's Goldust. All right, friends. Oh, go ahead today.
No, go ahead. No, I'm good.
All right. That's going to do it. This has been a lot of fun. Kev, we miss you. Hope no bear eats you or anything.
Brian, are you going to buy a PS5 or an Xbox Series X?
It's in the like 45th percentile right now. Because that's the thing. It's just for the college football.
Brian, there are so many cool ass games.
I'm sure there is.
NBA 2K. The Kings could actually win a title in that game.
Oh, they're so unrealistic though, these games.
Well, for that, yes. But no, 2K is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm the Spider-Man games for PS5 look outstanding. Dude, yes. For college football, yes.
Here's where I'm at right now. Somebody tweeted it. I saw it this week, and I was like, yeah, it was basically saying, wow, I'm watching all the tweets from all the grown adults excited about college football, wondering why they think they're going to have the time to play this game now like they did back in the day. And the first reply to that was a guy saying, the first reply to that was, let's say the guy's name was Dave. First
Eat
reply
balls,
was,
Dave.
The first reply was, balls. Dave, I quit my job for this.
Well, I almost took tomorrow off, but I can't.
So tomorrow's the day?
Well, no, I have it now.
Okay.
I
knew it was like out or pre-ordered.
Well, what's
out or
interesting
what.
is back when Dave was that age,
Yeah.
or whoever, they would do midnight releases for these types of games. And then when I lived on the West Coast, obviously that was 9 p.m. So a couple, there were games where I would go. 2K was one of them every year. This year, I got a call, and I didn't answer the call because I was at work. They're just saying, hey, come Friday after 11 a.m., get your game. Well, I went today to just pay it off, just to get it out of the way. And the girl says, did you get a call? And I said, yeah, but I didn't hear it. And she goes, oh, well, you didn't hear it from me, but if you come back at 8 o'clock, you might be able to get your game.
Nice.
So apparently it's like a word of mouth thing. Had I answered that phone, they would have told me that.
That's fun.
So
That's fun, man. These kids don't have that anymore, man. That's great.
Yeah. So Brian, you should go get one. Like right now. Leave. I can close this shit out.
What am I spending on a PS5 or Xbox?
About $500.
$500.
Yeah.
All right.
But
and then
Brian,
60 for the game.
60 for
but Brian, it can also be a Blu-ray player. You can watch WWE Network on it. You can watch Netflix on it. Cobra Kai just came out today, season 6. If you're listening on Friday, came out yesterday, Thursday. So much you can do. It's not just for video games. It's essentially a computer.
Yeah.
And you can stream all your stuff. And then you can play with your friends regardless of where they live in the country.
Uh-huh.
All 3 of them.
Yeah.
I'm sure Nick and Debo and those guys all have the video games, and
I'm sure they do.
I'm sure they do. You should, peer pressure. And what sucks is
you're laying it on, brother.
I don't even know if I'm going to be on the show next week, but I will call in just to see if you got the fucking PS5 or Xbox Series X.
All right. Like I said, maybe I think the likelihood would be
I would say
bring it to SummerSlam.
No.
Bring it to Summer. Yes, because I need to
get your own.
No, I don't.
Brother, you need to get your own.
Thank you. I knew that was right.
I need a taste.
Slow
and if I get that taste of that sweet, sweet EA Sports college football, then I'm gonna have to buy it.
No, sorry. This
Prove
isn't
me
you get
right.
your first.
I'm
you
confident.
had your first taste free back in '98 when you had.
That's forever ago. No one remembers that.
I will guarantee you would not regret this purchase.
You're probably right.
Because
give me that taste.
After this game, this game,
come on there.
It's going to come back in 26. And then 27. And then guess what? NCAA basketball is going to come too.
Yeah.
Dude, you will never regret
Give me a taste. I'm telling you, I think that will seal the deal. If you let me get it, if you bring that up to Cleveland, and we have
we're not going to Cleveland to play PlayStation.
Why
we're not
not?
going to Cleveland to play video games.
We're going to have a little round robin tournament. Jason's going to be Cal U. I'll be Penn State. You two can be Michigan State. We're a little round robin.
Oh, geez, we're fighting over that one.
It's going to be great. And if I enjoy it like I think I'm going to enjoy it, then I'm putting my credit card down the next day.
Guess what?
What?
You can buy it. And if you don't like it, you can return it. Or
I saw Joe's face. He doesn't believe you.
You can't.
No, you can't. You're screwed.
Electronics.
Yeah, you can.
You're screwed.
No, you can resell it to GameStop for like $4.
Hashtag bring PS5 to Cleveland.
No,
or
no,
Xbox,
we're not bringing games to Cleveland. We are going to enjoy.
Yeah, we're not doing. No, man.
What do you mean?
We're here for. It's not what we're here for.
At 8 in the morning, there ain't nothing going on.
Let's
play some video games.
I gotta go see Jinder Mahal.
It's not open at 8 a.m.
My guy.
You'll have time for Jinder. We're not hindering Jinder.
This is not a Wednesday night in college in the 2000s. No. This is an event.
Come on, that's what's going to bring me back was when I used to play the games with my boys in college and stuff.
All right, here's how it's going to go down.
Meet me
Kevin,
in the middle here,
No,
folks.
we're
Come
all
on.
going to meet. Actually, you're going to meet in the middle at Kevin's house
Yes.
in Fort Wayne. You guys are going to play one game. You're going to be instantly hooked. Then you guys are going to get in the car and go to Joe's. I think that's the order. And then you're going to come to Cleveland and meet me because
No, Brian's going to meet me at my house, and you can play it
Joe's
at
to
my
meet in the
house
middle.
when I get it this weekend.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
Go
you can
early.
get your taste before we go to Cleveland,
That's-
which is about a 2-hour drive.
That's acceptable.
That I'll accept that, but there's
That's
no way.
acceptable.
There's no
And
way
since
we're
Joe
playing
has,
video games.
since Joe has PS5 and not Xbox, I suggest you get PS5. I'm getting a PS5. Kevin has every video game that has ever
Right.
invented to do this.
Yeah.
And we're still on our wrestling
All right.
podcast, still talking.
I'm
video
on
games.
track though. It's
Yes.
all okay.
Yeah, Kevin.
I'll accept that. That's a meet
You
in the
should-
middle thing. I'll take
All
it.
right, let's end this so we can watch the trailer for NCAA football and get more excited because we can't do it on the show because it
No.
was trademark and everybody knows where to find us. Everybody knows where to get our shirts. Just enjoy wrestling, everybody, and video games.
So I need to say it.
I just did it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow @ThatWrestlePod on social media.